Hello there, and welcome to a super special interview with a very special person. I am here joined with none other than Kristen Scott, and when we come back from the intro, we're going to be talking about the newest acquisition to the Orlando Pride. Stay tuned because the interview starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
All right, welcome back. I am here joined by Kristen Scott, the former UCF Knights women's soccer player. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. It's so great to have you here because you have no obligation to come here, but yet you still choose to come hang out with us. So that's awesome, and we appreciate you for that.
Yeah, of course. I like it here. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. And we'll keep reaching out to you if you continue to want to come on. But you just got drafted like 2 weeks ago, and that's pretty impressive. I mean, you are now a pro athlete. How does that feel?
It feels great. It's been really cool. It's like everything I've ever wanted, and just to kind of like watch it actually happen is a little unbelievable still.
Right. All the hard work that you put in. I remember our first ever interview that you did. You brought up to me that one of your teachers said, maybe you should strive to do something a little more realistic. And ever since then, you've just been on a tear. And so we're all really impressed with you. We're all going to continue watching you. And I'm hoping we get to make it to a couple Pride games because you're going to be so much fun to watch this year.
That'd be great. I hope to see you there.
So let's go to the moment you got drafted here. We're going to go ahead and put the video on behind us because I'm sure that it was just a crazy moment out of all the hard work that you put out to see what went down. So let's go ahead and go through this video. Now, we won't be able to hear it out here.
With the 5th pick in the 4th round of the 2023 NWSL Draft, Orlando Pride select Kristen Scott.
Now, the relief on your face there kind of says it all. Did you know at all that you were going to be drafted in that position?
So I had been, talking, and I have an agent with the Pride, and I had like a pretty good idea that they were pretty interested, but the draft just really never goes how you think it's going to. I mean, like, just for starters, the Pride had 8 picks going into the draft beginning, and then they traded away a good chunk, and they ended the draft with 5. So as those picks were being traded away, I was like, oh man, like, maybe that was my spot there. Like, maybe I'm not going anymore, no matter how interested, I thought they were getting into the draft. So it was a very stressful experience, and definitely a ton of relief in that moment.
Now, did you think that you might have a chance of going somewhere else, that oh, I'm going to be going out to California, or I'm going to be going to a different state? Like, what would that have been like if you would have had to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to, a couple clubs that would have involved me moving. Any club besides Orlando would have involved me moving, which is really stressful because preseason starts about 2 weeks after the draft. We report like this weekend officially, so just packing up and moving all your things to get there is one thing in itself, but like you also can't just get a place and move because we're all still on trial until contracts are offered throughout preseason. So, it's hard. You got to go find like a temporary place to live, and like how much stuff do I move for this amount of time, and then like if I end up staying, like how do I get all my other stuff over there? Like it's definitely a process, and staying in Orlando is a bit of a convenience.
Now, I'm sure that was nice, but you didn't you play for the youth Orlando Pride team?
I did,
And so that must have felt great that you get to stay home, you get to go back to a little bit of a familiar territory, right?
Yeah, we train kind of like right by where I grew up training, which is really cool. And we did the Orlando City youth side, and then we had when the DA, the Development Academy, developed, we had the Pride for the younger girls, and so that was the team that I played for in like the 1 year I think that it was available was my senior year of high school. So I did that, and it was really cool. Like we had like the replica jerseys and everything. It was fun, and we always wanted to you know, like play with those girls, and we were like, oh, can we go train with them? And so like the answer is always no. Like, you guys are 16, like don't get ahead of yourselves. But like now being able to like actually do it's really cool.
Well, now you're there, you made it, and I'm going to ask you about the Orlando Pride team itself. How do you think you're going to be able to fit in, you know, on your first year there, you know, get some playing time? How do you think you're going to fit in there?
Yeah, well, socially, like the girls have been really great. Everyone is super sweet, and I did a couple sessions with them over the summer, so like I'm lucky enough to like have known a couple of them. I played with Carrie Lawrence at UCF,
Right.
And I've done some small-sided trainings with the girls here and there. So, like, I mean, it's great. Like, I really like love the environment. It's, you know, for a pro team, I think it's very like just wholesome and welcoming. As far as playing, I like never go into anything with any sort of expectations, you know, like I'm still just trying to get a roster spot at this point, which is scary in itself,
Yeah.
but motivating. And I mean, I did the same thing at UCF. Like I came in here and I was like, I'm gonna fight for second string was my mentality when I got to UCF. I was a center forward at the time, not a winger. And the current center forward at UCF was a U20 German national team player. And I was like, I'm just going to fight really hard to be her backup. And, you know, I kind of have like the same mentality going in. Like, I'm not expecting to like start as a rookie or like go in and even come in off the bench as a rookie. Like, I'm fighting for a contract at this point. So I think it's just, it's very humbling and just like keeping yourself here. And then like, that way, if anything other than that happens, like great, like we can just be super excited about it, but like there's never any expectations.
Right. Well, I guess, you know, you've done this before, like you said, you know, going into, you know, high school, you had to fight for a roster spot. Here, you just said you had to fight for a roster spot. So I'm sure that's scary to go through, but you're gonna have to do it no matter where you go. And betting on yourself is probably super huge, believing in yourself. And I will say this on the broadcast, I don't know if you heard, you were told that you had nastiness to you. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
What-
was like fiery and nasty, some
What
stuff.
does that mean? How did you take that?
I mean, it was like, I guess it's just like, I don't really know. I've never thought of myself as like the kind of player that's like, you know, feisty, but
Yeah.
like I guess I am. I think they said something about like, well, she plays for Tiffany Roberts Haydock,
Yeah.
so like she's got to be a
Gotta
little
have some grit.
fiery. And I'm like, well, she definitely gives us some of that. So maybe.
Right. I just thought that was funny. I saw it was like, I've never heard somebody categorized as that. And they told you had grit too, which I mean, we all see.
Most
so.
people just tell me I look composed on the field. So like fiery just seemed kind of like a
Transition.
counterintuitive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's definitely going to be so much fun to see that because obviously while you're playing, you do keep that composure. And then there's sometimes you score a goal and we see that energy out of you. And that's, you know, it's fun to see that side of you. And I'm sure all Pride fans are going to want to see that out of you this year. So let's go ahead and get into this. You get to play alongside, or you get to compete for a spot with the Brazilian legend, Marta. I mean, is that cool to be able to go to work with her every day now?
Oh, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. And yeah, I've gotten to play with her a few times now, some of those small-sided sessions, and she is just like such an amazing person. She was one of my idols growing up. And so like once you get past like the starstruck version of it, you know, like she is still amazing. And she's just one of those people that like has so much fun with it and genuinely reminds me every day when I like start to get caught up in the stress of, you know, contracts and things like that, where like you watch her play and she's just having fun the entire time. And it's like amazing to watch. And it reminds me like, you're here to have fun. Like you're doing this because it's fun. Like this, you know, it's okay to like let go and like you play better when you're having fun. And I genuinely think that's why she's the best player in the world, because she has always decided to, you know, have fun with it and like never take it too seriously.
I think that's fantastic advice that you give there, to just, you know, maybe not so get caught up in the job that you're trying to accomplish, but just go out there and have fun, be yourself, you know, be energetic, be you. And so I think that's really great advice there. Now, my mom, I had to shout this out, she is a season ticket holder to the Pride, drives up an hour and a half to go to all the games, and I told her when I found out you got drafted, I was like, gotta re-up, Mom. We gotta go to these games because we got Kristen. And so we're excited now. We're gonna be going to some of your Pride games together. We can't wait to see you out there.
you.
So let's go ahead and transition to the UCF side of things, because the last time we saw you play, it wasn't the best outcome that we wanted, but it was still nonetheless a fantastic season. I think we could all agree that you guys fell just a little bit short of the eventual champions of the world. So that was pretty impressive there. That game against UCLA, obviously, not the result we wanted. But any reflection you have on this last season on, getting yourself drafted and the team you got to spend time with, just anything like that?
Yeah, it was amazing. Every team I've had here at UCF, because they've all been so different over the years, but this one was great. It's hard to put into words. We were just all like so close and like so bought into this common goal, and I almost can't even like describe like the team unity that we had, but it was definitely like a huge contributor to the way our season went. And I think just like the number of veterans that were out there that wanted it because we had never had it really made it like more special.
Right. It was so much fun to watch that team go to work day in and day out. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of those clips. We got a fun game for you that we're going to put up here where we're going to go ahead and test your memory. We're going to show you a couple of clips, and then maybe if you want to break down the play, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. So let's get started here at Tulsa. I didn't want to play the video because this commentator did not like the result. But can you tell me what is about to happen on this play here?
Okay.
Trying to find you.
All right, we're 22 minutes in. If I had to guess, Day is just going to take it herself all the way down and then cross it into me, and I'm just going to be in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. Let's go ahead and play that and see if she is correct on what happens. One thing I will say about Day is she's so fast with the ball. And
oh, so fast.
Right. It is crazy to watch her. Nice pass from Mal there. And then, of course, there's your cross for the goal. Now, I was going to ask you upon replay. Look at how you're like, yeah, all right, we back in this game, tied up. On the replay, if you want to go ahead and break down what happened here with your soccer expertise, it's going to go ahead and show.
Yeah, little 1-2 there just to lose the defender. And then I'm coming in on the backside just so she can't see where I am. So that's why that run like takes me around there.
Now, before we get into this one, I was going to go ahead and ask you, you almost looked like you were going to run through that goalie there, like when you had the ball. Was that ever like a thought in your mind, like I'm about to run straight into this
it really
person?
doesn't matter. Like the ball's going to go in the goal, and if you're in the way, then that sucks. Like,
get out of the way.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were down 1-0 to Tulsa at that point, which, like probably ranking-wise, like we shouldn't have been. So like you saw in like my facial expressions after that goal, like it wasn't a crazy celebration because
right.
it wasn't like an exciting goal. It was like
doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, like this is just me doing my job kind of goal. And like that was our coach's expectation and everything. So that was just, okay, we got to get this out of the way. And here we are 2-2 again. So, it was kind of like the same every time we scored in this game. But yeah, it was just very like get the job done kind of thing.
Do you know what's going to happen here?
So this is going to go from Matu to Day, and then I think Day's going to turn her, if I had to guess, inside shoulder because that's her favorite. And then she's going to dribble inside, and I'm going to come from the outside and cut in front of my defender to finish near post.
All right, let's see.
Oh, she turned her outside.
No, I will say, I'm pretty sure everything else you got like 100% correct. Right place, right time again. And one thing I saw from this, are you more dominant left-footed or right-footed?
I'm right-footed, naturally.
See, that's what I thought. But I saw some strikes you had with your left foot in these clips. And, I mean, it's just insane what you could do with both feet, which I guess you kind of have to do if you're going to play at the
Thank you. Yeah,
pro level.
So I played on the right my freshman year. And my coach at the end of the season, so yeah, my freshman year there was that German national team center forward, and then there was another girl on the German national team on the right or on the left wing.
Wow.
And then I played on the right wing, and I was just like, wow, I really feel like I don't belong here, and it was just big imposter syndrome was going on. It was tough. And then after my freshman year, my coach told me to start working on my left foot because she wanted to put me on the left for sophomore year, and I'm grateful for that because, I think that was her wanting me to be on the field and not knowing like who we were going to bring in on the right side and if they were going to be, better than me. Like I think that was her way of saying like, hey, we don't want to bench you, so just be prepared, like figure out how to play on both. And then I played on the left, like basically the rest of my collegiate career, but she prepped me. She gave me a little heads up and told me I needed to work on the left, so that's how that happened.
Well, I did see from your draft analysis that the Pride scored 22 goals last year, and they're hoping that you can add from the wing doing that. So let's hope that you could do that. But this is just a simple penalty kick here, not much you need to guess because it's either two options. I'm sure you remember it. But what I wanted to ask is, what goes through your mind while you're like going through penalty kicks? Because earlier this game, this was a huge spot, right? You had gotten fouled inside the box, and it wasn't you that took the penalty kick. Because I'm pretty sure you were playing on one leg the whole game, which I wanted to ask because I remember watching your ankle get rolled, and I was like, oh, that looked painful.
Yeah,
So,
my ankles went about halfway through the season, and then it was just tape and painkillers from there. So.
jeez. Yeah, that's what the injury was that was keeping you out there at the end of the season a little bit?
No, no, ankles were never just. Ankles are easy because tape and you're good. It just might mess with your touch a little bit because unfortunately, like that's your playing surface. But
go ahead and play it here so she can
ankles are easy.
give us her.
We're going to the
thoughts.
right.
Why?
Oh, I can't tell you why.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It's not my last PK of my life, I hope.
But is there, you can just yes or no. Is there something that the goalie gives away that you're like, I'm going this way, or is it just like
no,
in your head?
I decide before.
Okay.
But I think it's a matter of confidence and just knowing like, even if she goes to my side, like I'm gonna hit this well enough that like it's gonna go in either way. So it's just not worrying about her. I used to be really bad at PKs when I was younger. Like my mom used to not watch because I was like notorious for missing them. It was horrible.
Right, your old mom wouldn't even watch.
She had like no faith in me at all.
She'd turn around and this one ain't going in.
It was so bad. It was justified. Like I always miss them. But yeah, there was just like I think a confidence shift for me really this year where I was like, you need to make these, like you're a leader on this team, you're a captain on this team, like you need to like be someone that your teammates can rely on to score these. And that was when I decided like, okay, you're just gonna hit this so well that like she's not gonna save it either way.
Yeah, do you just pretend that the goal is not even there? That you're like, I'm just,
basically,
yeah.
Like just don't miss the frame.
Yeah, just don't.
Just don't miss the frame.
Right.
And then we're good.
So this play here I know is a little bit quicker, but do you remember how you're gonna score this goal?
Yeah, so the defender trips, which is really nice.
Thank
and
you.
then I think I go with my right foot to cut behind my left, and then I finish with my left across my body.
Let's see. Such a beautiful move. That's just, what a strike.
It just felt like practice. It really did. Like she played it, and I kind of knew how I was gonna turn before. She was making fun of we were making fun of my goal scoring reaction.
Yeah.
In like the locker room before the game, and so we were all talking about how like if I scored that day, we were all gonna like do the thing. And so if you watch that one, like everybody as they walk up to me like is doing it. Like Dayana does it and everything too.
That's what.
But yeah, that one. And then as soon as I turned, I saw like the keeper. It felt like practice because it was just like that's where we always take shots from. And all right, back post open, hit it.
That was the celebration there. I thought of something. It looked like you were going to give Mal a high five, and then you kind of flinched a little bit. Did you think she was going to tackle you or something?
I just didn't really know what was going to happen. Like sometimes I just have no idea. Like people just jump on me all over the place. Like there's one of like Katie Bradley where she jumps on me, and like there's a picture of it. She's like, it looks like I'm kissing her cheek because she just jumped right into my face with her face. It just, stuff happens. We were celebrating the conference championship and no, it was at NC State, and we're all like jumping around in this circle, and Caroline, like my eyes are closed, and I feel like someone's teeth hit my teeth, and I'm like, what? And I open my eyes, I'm looking around for like what it was, and I see Caroline's eyes, like she was looking around like whose teeth hit my teeth too, and we just kind of made eye contact for a second. We were like, okay, whatever, we won, like, and we just kept going. But like, yeah, everything happens. You don't really know like what to expect in these celebrations.
Right. All right, this one right here against Cincinnati. Do you know what's going to happen here?
Against Cincinnati. Day drives inside in between these two defenders, and then I'm coming across from the left. I make my run in front of the defender, I think. One touch to stop it, and then I just slip it in the near post. Now,
obviously you remember like the last part because it was you, but if you don't see this, like if you didn't know this happened, do you know, like can you tell what she's going to do with the ball before it already happens? Yes.
Just like from playing with her? Yeah, Day likes to drive inside.
Well, don't give away her tactics.
I know. the thing is, like, she's so fast that even if you know where she's going, it
don't
doesn't
matter.
really matter.
Yeah.
Like, she's just such a threat. It's insane. And she can cut outside too.
All right, let's see. Splits to defenders. I mean, that's a beautiful pass too. I mean, that's a hard pass to make.
It was. Well, what was funny is at halftime we were talking about that. Our coach was like, everybody's trying to thread the needle too much. Like, this is just, you know, like you're making it too hard. These are like really difficult passes you're trying. And they were like, don't try to thread the needle. And then Day like perfectly threads the needle in the second half. And
All right.
we go and score off it. And like, I actually turned around. The first thing I said to her was, hey, why'd you don't thread the needle?
Yeah. This one is my favorite goal, I think, that you scored, because it was my first ever women's soccer game that I went to for UCF.
Really?
Alex had me working the game, and I remember this was a rainy game. I don't know if you remember. It got rained for like a good hour, and it was pretty miserable the second half. But this was the first time I ever saw you play, and I remember before the game I was like, Alex, who should I be watching? He's like, you got to watch number 7. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. So do you remember the move you make here?
Yeah, so this is Dar, and we've played together since we were like 14. So I was telling Alex earlier about like our kind of connection, and I think like this clip is like a really good example of it. I come across with my run. I've got one defender on me, and I bring it down with my chest, cut it back behind the defender, and then finish near post.
All right, let's see. The way that you could just get in front of the defender and keep her behind you, I think, is so impressive too. And then just that move right there. I mean, that's hard. You make it look so easy when you do that too. So
Thanks. Yeah, that was a fun one. I liked that goal.
yeah, that was definitely a fun one to watch. It was my introduction to the team, and I became probably one of the biggest fans ever since. So it's kind of crazy. But this play right here, do you know what's gonna happen?
Ball goes wide to me. I think Khalees just played it. And I stop on the sideline. I actually remember like I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the ball, and I heard her, she said something. She said like, go at him, or like, you know, like be brave, or something like that. And so that was when I decided I was gonna go. And I dribble in, cut her outside, and then cut it back to Mal. Mal finishes. I think it goes pretty high.
All right, let's see. This is a sweet pass too. Whew. Yeah, exactly correct. So almost photographic memory, and I love the energy that you guys give to each other after goals, because it shows how great the team is. And I mean, you put the ball in the net a lot, 33 times in your collegiate career. So
these are the best moments. Like, of course we're gonna remember them. We replay them in our heads over and over. It
yeah,
just feels so good. Yeah, that was a good one. That was my first game back.
from injury. Ah, gotcha. Now, the thing that we want to do here, we want to let the Pride know who they're getting on their team. So if you want to say anything about yourself, for people to know like anything about you, I'll ask you your favorite UCF memory, just to give yourself a little
My favorite
personality.
UCF memory. Can it be soccer related?
And why is it not New Girl Trivia, though, beating our executive producer in that?
Shoot. I mean, that was like definitely top 5.
Top 5? How
Top
about like
5.
top 3?
Oh, top
4.
4.
4. Okay,
4.
so it's 4. We got that.
Conference championship day. Just the whole day was like
yeah.
my favorite memory. It was senior day. I cried so much that morning that like my eyes were tired in the game. Like my body was fine, but I just remember being like, you know, when you're ready to go to sleep and you're just like trying to keep your eyelids up. Like that was how I felt in the middle of the Houston game, because like I was so tired from crying all morning. And it was like in the locker room, like we all celebrate together. We do gifts and things like that. It's a big day for us. And then I get out to the field and we're about to warm up, and my dad, he's a photographer, so he takes pictures for the team down on the field. He walks up to me with flowers and he's tearing up. And he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, I just stopped crying. Like, I need to play this game. And then I lost it again. And it was just a mess of a morning. And then we won the conference championship for the first time since I'd been at UCF, which was just amazing. So then I cried more. And then we actually did like a team like barbecue thing.
Nice.
With everybody's parents. Like even a lot of the internationals had their parents in town from like Europe and stuff. So it was like a really, really fun day where we all got to kind of like meet each other and hang out with each other's families and just celebrate like the day. It was a really great day.
No, that does sound like a great day. And that was the game that you guys had just finished, and you had watched the end of South Florida's game, right? Like someone had it on their phone or something. You guys had to watch it over there. I mean, that must have been a pretty cool moment to have everyone gathered around because it was on the broadcast.
It was incredible. It was we were all just standing there and like just celebrating our win. And then I think it was my dad that walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, Cincinnati's up. There's like 2 minutes left." And I was like, "Holy crap.
This can happen."
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we all got in there and so stressful. I had Cincinnati in that game though. I had them. They don't lose at home.
You
They
knew,
don't.
huh?
I was like, "Oh, we're gonna win this day because Cincinnati doesn't lose at home."
Wow.
Even us, which sucks, but you know, at least they're consistent.
Right. No, that's a good
Could
point.
rely on them for that game.
Now, there's been speculation from like one person, I'll let you guess who it is, that the New Girl Trivia was actually rigged in your favor.
What?
I went back and watched it, and there was like a slight like point thing, and then I screwed up a question giving the answer away for one of them. Now, the one person was obviously the person you beat, so
Right.
that has the speculation. But do you think you'd ever come back for a rematch or do something a little different? Because, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to prove him wrong again.
Yeah, I think we should switch up the show.
He said right now in my ear, this is blasphemy, so he thinks he beat you, really,
Switch up
wholeheartedly.
the show, and then I'm down for a rematch.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. Let's get him out here and do it right now.
You know, keep it interesting. Not too much New Girl.
Right. What show would you want to do?
Oh,
Maybe a new one you've been watching.
I'm really. I was a big Office person.
I love The Office.
Now I don't have a streaming service that has The Office, so
Same.
it's been a while. But I mean, I was like seen it like 8 or 9 times through.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was what we were going to do originally, but it was going to be me that did it against you because I've
Oh,
seen
really?
it 8 or 9 times, but I didn't watch it in forever because
Yeah.
it got
Well,
taken
then
off
we're on
Netflix.
an even playing field there.
Yes.
It's good competition.
Yes, and I don't know if you knew this about New Girl Trivia, the foxtail that they have there in Student Union-ish, around there. They did New Girl Trivia a while back, and me and about 3 other people went. We got last place, but we were this close to inviting you out there. We were this close to asking Alex, "Hey, is Kristen busy tonight? New Girl Trivia at 7
I would
p.m."
have gone if I was free.
Now, next Monday is Office Trivia because our team got second place that went. Me and Andrew, who's over here, and just say it. I mean, there's always spots for one more on
Is
the
it
Office
really
Trivia.
Office Trivia? That's
Office Trivia.
so funny.
Next
I gotta bring
Monday.
my sister.
Obviously, I mean, the more the merrier. Our team
She's
is
good.
Yeah, we're not as good as we'd like to be at trivia, but did pretty solid last week. So, last thing I'll ask you before you get on out of here, because I'm sure you're busy like every day, is anything that you're gonna miss or the thing you're gonna miss the most at UCF now that you're gone, graduated, out of here?
Yeah, my teammates, just absolutely. I mean, it makes it, I guess, easier to leave because 10 of us are leaving. So
Yeah.
I just know that, like, if I were to stay, like, it wouldn't be, like, the exact environment that, like, I do miss. But obviously there's a good chunk of girls still here and the coaches and the staff and it's everyone. It's just the people here that, like, I love so much. Like, the people here are the reason that, you know, I committed here, and it's college athletics, so there's a lot of turnover. But somehow UCF just, like, brings in amazing people all the time and, you know, keeps it really special.
Yeah, they definitely do a great job on that. And I hope when you're free and not playing for the Pride that you're able to come and support the team because I'm sure they'd love to see a familiar face around
Yeah.
there.
Well, I still got a sister over there,
Sure,
so
absolutely,
I
yeah.
want to be at a couple games.
That's got to be exciting. Can you, like, bring her jersey and, like, cheer for her?
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope she does really well this year. I'm rooting
That'll be
for her.
perfect. Well, it's been an honor to get to do this again. I'm truly grateful that you let us, you know, give you some of our time and, you know, interview you because it's great to get to talk to you, get to know more about you. And so I thank you for letting us do this.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. You're the one that's busy, and, you know, it's great to have you come in. But without further ado, that's been the Kristen Scott interview. Thank you for everybody that has done everything that goes around production and pretty much everything else because this could not have been done without you. Thank you, Kristen, for joining us again. And we'll catch y'all next time at Hitting the Field.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.